When did you see someone fail as a parent? I saw it at Lincoln Park on a Tuesday afternoon. I was there with my daughter Maya, who was playing on the swings while I sat on a bench checking work emails. That's when I noticed the woman with the little boy near the sandbox. The boy looked maybe 4 years old, wearing a red shirt and khaki shorts. But he wasn't playing. He was just sitting completely still in the sand, staring at nothing while other kids ran around him. The woman, who I assumed was his mother, sat on the edge of the sandbox, watching him with this weird intensity. Not the normal way parents watch their kids. This was different, focused, like she was studying him. What caught my attention first was how the other parents were acting. A mom with twin girls actively steered them away from the sandbox when they started heading that direction. Another dad grabbed his son's hand and led him to the slide on the opposite side of the playground. Nobody made eye contact with the woman or her child. I watched for about 10 minutes, and the little boy never moved, not once. The woman would occasionally say something to him, but I couldn't hear what. His expression never changed, just blank staring. Then she pulled out her phone and started filming him, just sitting there in the sand doing nothing. She filmed for maybe 2 minutes, walking around him at different angles like she was documenting something. Other parents were definitely noticing now, sharing looks with each other. Maya called for me to push her on the swing, so I got up and moved closer to the sandbox area. That's when I heard the woman talking to the boy. She was saying things like, "Good job staying still," and "You're doing perfect." But the kid wasn't doing anything. He was just existing. After about 5 more minutes, the woman stood up and pulled the boy to his feet. He moved stiffly, robotically, his arms hanging at his sides. She brushed sand off him very carefully, methodically, then led him toward the parking lot. But instead of holding his hand normally, she had her fingers wrapped around his wrist, tight. I don't know why, but I followed them. Something felt deeply wrong. They got into a white sedan parked away from other cars. Through the windshield, I could see her buckling him into a car seat, but she was doing something else too, adjusting something around his chest that I couldn't quite see. That's when another woman appeared next to me, an older lady, maybe in her 60s. "You noticed too," she said quietly. It wasn't a question. I asked what she meant, and she told me that woman comes to the park 3 times a week, always with that little boy, always doing the same routine. The boy never speaks, never plays, just sits wherever she positions him, and she always films him. The older woman said she'd tried approaching once to ask if everything was okay, but the mother became hostile immediately, saying people needed to mind their own business about her parenting choices. Other parents had apparently tried talking to her too, which is why everyone avoided them now. I asked if anyone had called the police or child services. The older woman said one parent had, about a month ago. An officer came to the park, talked to the mother, watched for about 10 minutes, and left. Nothing happened. Apparently the mother convinced them everything was fine. But here's what bothered me most. I'd been watching for almost 30 minutes total, and that little boy never blinked, not once. His eyes stayed wide open, staring, unmoving. The white sedan pulled out of the parking lot, and I made a split-second decision. I told the older woman to watch Maya, gave her my number, and got in my car. I followed that white sedan for 15 minutes until it pulled into a driveway in a neighborhood I didn't recognize. I parked down the street and waited, watching the house. The mother got out first, then went around to get the boy from his car seat. When she lifted him out, I finally saw what she'd been adjusting in the car. And that's when I realized this wasn't about bad parenting at all. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.